Hello. So today I'm going to be stealing from Karen Puzzles. I'm going to be doing something I've never done before, which is a puzzle. I have never done a puzzle before, a jigsaw puzzle. In my life, I have never done a jigsaw puzzle. Well, that's not true. I have done 9-piece puzzles where you just do the edge and then you put one in the middle and that is it. So this is my first adult puzzle, and that kind of terrifies me because I don't really have a frame of reference of how to do it, but also how long it will take me to do it. However, I looked at Karen Puzzles videos and she can put out a 500-piece puzzle really quickly. Oh, I should have had the numbers up. Hold on. So in Karen Puzzles video where she does as many 500-piece puzzles in 12 hours as she can, she does an average of 1 hour and 20 minutes per 500-piece puzzle. On the other side, the streamer Jerma, he did one 300-piece puzzle in 7 hours. Now, again, one is a Twitch streamer who is Twitch streaming doing a puzzle, and the other is a professional puzzler who literally took, I think, second or third place in nationals. Took second place in nationals a few years ago. She says that more and more people are getting into puzzling, so she probably won't place that high again. However, it's still incredibly fast. The main difference is Jerma was not speed puzzling, and she was. Now, the reason why I'm putting these together is the fact that because I've never done a puzzle before, I don't have puzzling versus speed puzzling. I just have puzzling. So we're going to puzzle. And that's it. My goal is hopefully doing, honestly, less than 10 hours. It's fine. That sounds so long compared to Karen Puzzles, because it is. So I'm going to be stealing from her today. Well, it's not really hers, tons of people do jigsaw puzzles, but the point is that I'm going to be using her as a frame of reference for multiple things, including how I do this particular video, because other puzzle-based YouTubers probably edit and format their video in a slightly different way. But I'll be copying hers. Well, to the best of my ability, She has a lot more experience than I do. I have a baseline understanding of what a puzzle is and how to figure it out. However, I do not have any hands-on experience. I do not know at all how to do puzzles. So I have no idea how long this is going to take me. I have no idea any of that. So we'll see. So the puzzle I want to do today is this Washington, D.C. puzzle. Despite not wanting to do this as my first puzzle, I actually had puzzles planned out of gradients and color patterns, because Karen Puzzles explicitly says that those are the easiest, at least for her. The reason why I have this puzzle in general was one of the people I know, they went to a little puzzle shop nearish DC, they saw it and they bought it for me. And the thing about me is I have no money, so I'm going to be doing this instead of buying another puzzle. My biggest fear is all of these white spots here and here and here, and how many words they just, and then some of them are different angles. So if I have a little piece here, it can be twisted and look like it can go anywhere else. So the puzzle looks like it's from here to up here, and looks like it's from here to down here, all of this, and it scares me, those pieces. Not the puzzle I was planning to do for my very first puzzle, but so yeah, the person that bought me this puzzle, who went to the puzzle shop, just really got into puzzles recently, and they didn't even know that I was thinking about doing a puzzle for the very first time, and they're like, "You never did a puzzle before?" I'm like, "Nope. No." So I am excited. I do not know the stops here. I'm going to be referencing this a lot. So yeah, you can kind of see here better. Like it's just going to be a square. I'm going to change the angle, so I'm not going to be talking when I do the puzzle. But essentially what I'm going to do is take all the pieces out. I'm going to flip them all the right side up. I'm going to put the edges with the edges. I'm going to put maybe all pure white together. I'm going to put all of the individual colors. I don't know. I'm going to try my best to separate the colors and maybe the words, but there's a lot of words. I don't know. I have never done a puzzle. I just know what Karen Puzzle says about doing puzzles. And I've watched a lot, so I think I can do this. Probably these blues. So yeah, I'll do blues and then each of these colors, but some of them are close together. So maybe, I don't know how I'm going to separate them, but I'm going to try. I also don't have a big table. I have the table I'm going to do it on, which I think is the right size for it finished, but to organize and stuff, I don't know. I'm going to probably have to use the bottom of the box to store pieces. I do have my desk, but I'm actually going to be using my desk as a tripod for my camera because I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to probably try to figure out spacing. Okay, so I sorted them by different color, kind of, because again, they overlap. So like green and yellow, but this is yellow and blue, and then red, but red has some green, like the grass, and then I put pure grass ones over here with the river. That kind of got covered. Anyways, and then over here, it's like, oh, all three? There. Only right here, only this right here is pure white, which I'm glad is not as many as I thought, but here's all the gray and white, which is probably all of this right here, but also including here, which I'm gonna be on. So all this, all these is here. This is over here, which is over here. There are all my corner pieces, which, as you can see, a lot of them are pure white. Up here, there's like the colors. I also separated those. Up here, each of the lines, again, if they touch multiple, I don't know. I also don't know. Looking at it, I'm guessing this piece right here is actually this top corner image there. I didn't look at all at the box. I think I have a freebie, so I'm gonna leave it as is because I need all the help I can get. Didn't take me very long. I think this took me 20 minutes to do this. But again, I didn't even know what what I should be sorting by. Yeah, puzzle dust, which apparently the person who gave me this puzzle didn't know puzzle dust existed. And they're like, is this normal? And I'm like, yes. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is gonna be real embarrassing if I'm wrong, but that is my first ever puzzle piece that I put together. Hell yeah. It's been pretty much exactly an hour, and I'm pretty impressed about how far I have gotten. I think I did pretty much the entire orange line so far, so that's pretty good. Nowhere close to being done like Karen Puzzles would be. I mean, Karen Puzzles would be done with it by now because her average was an hour and 20 minutes, and unless I somehow magically get it done within 20 minutes, that's not going to happen. So far I do like doing puzzles. I think this is actually really fun. I will say one thing that I do not like is just how much the pieces just, they don't stick together at all. It took me 30 minutes to complete this orange line, which I am very proud of because I did it. It's the first time I did this ever. I'm so happy. Okay, it's been another 30 minutes making progress. This goes down here, this goes over here. I already dropped one piece on the ground, but that's it. So I don't want to drop any more pieces. One is enough. And I think I'm probably going to do the red next just because I already have the red here. This piece and this piece to connect, all it's missing is a red line going through it. So I think it will connect these pieces. I did my little corner map up here. Very nice. The problem is some of these pieces, like, even if I knew these two pieces go next to each other, they don't lock in together. So I am fighting that. Like, even if this was, it's not, but even if this was perfect with this, you know, they wouldn't connect. No, they're not, because it needs, yeah, I gotta work. So, like I was saying, oops. My biggest thing is that I have been to DC, so I think because of that little bit of knowledge, it's very helpful. But the thing that's not helpful is I don't seem to understand the scale sometimes of like this. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be farther apart. It's not though. So the scale throws me off. I think if I was more practiced in puzzles, I wouldn't have that problem. But because I'm not an expert, my brain is just like, yeah, no, these wouldn't fit. They're too far apart. Once they click, I'm like, oh yeah, duh, this works. But for some reason, it's not in my head. I am also very glad that these actually do match up with another color pretty much exclusively until up here, because that means only those pieces that are here, but then also bad because there's a lot of pieces with words and that's it. So I'm really worried, really worried about the whites, the pure whites, and I'm really worried about the whites with text on it, and I'm worried about these edges because a lot of these edges are just pure white. So I think these with the text will help. The text helps a lot. Okay, so it's been another 15 minutes, and I put all of this on. I put on, I think the whole red line got connected. So we got the whole red line from end to end. We have the yellow line very close to the end. Blue end to end, yes. Orange end to end. Yeah, green end to end. The only thing we really need is this end of this yellow line. And then I have to tackle the gray line. But I think because they're mixed in, I'm just going to skip doing that because I would have to separate them out. And I will tackle the... I was like, did I not attach this? I don't think these... So like I said, I'm actually surprised with how good this is going. I'm also thrilled. I think puzzles are really fun. I love organizing, and it's that you're just organizing each piece in, and I absolutely love this. I'm very, very happy I can do this. I'm very, very happy with my progress. I mean, yeah. Also, here was a little bit, it's not shown here. It is on this small, tiny map. I was reading, and I'm just putting them where each of them goes. And I'm hoping the recording is watchable. But we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it is watchable. So, I think I'm going to maybe do the rivers because they're separated. So I did quite a bit more. I'm going to head to bed, but I put all of the literally nothing on it, pure white pieces in the box, unless they're edge pieces, because that should be hopefully helpful in the future. I think I did all of the color pieces besides right here that I just haven't put them in, but I'm hoping I can put these in place. I thought about putting this where it belongs over here. I'm just scared I don't have enough room because over here it's already kind of falling off. But like I said, some of them are pretty fragile. I'm scared during my day off tomorrow where I'm not doing this, it's just gonna come undone. All these edge pieces, just pure white. I think this goes over here. So yeah, I'm going to have to leave it for not just tomorrow, but for the day after tomorrow for my break. But we'll break from this. I'm doing other stuff. But all the white pieces that aren't edges are away, so hopefully that helps. I got a little bit of river over here left. River over here left. This is not connected yet, so I'm hoping very soon I can connect this. Okay, so it's day 2 of working on this puzzle, and I realized that the table I chose is just way too small, but it's the only one that I can get an overhead shot of, so we're gonna make do. But even with just the pieces that are on the table right now, it's overcrowded, and I still have all the extra pure white pieces over here in the box, so we'll see. But today my plan is to do the rest of the river and the grass and hope I can just plug that in. And there's a bunch of words, but yet like, well, not yesterday, but there's still a bunch of words and I want to put them in. But last time I did it 2 days ago, I just got so tired and I know where Union Station is. I heard it before. I just couldn't find it. I did cheat. I looked it up. I'm like, what line is Union Station on? It's on the red line. Either way, the point is I looked it up, I cheated. But it's also just too small of a table and all the easy parts already are done. So I'm worried that from now till I'm done, it's just going to be not as fun. I do think so far it has been fun, so I think an easier puzzle would be a lot more fun for me than what I'm assuming is gonna suck, which is just all the pure white pieces. I also don't know if I said, but I did have to wipe off one of the pieces because it fell on the floor, and as someone with a disability of severe allergies, I can't just pick something off the floor. So I did discolor one piece, so if you're like, why is that piece weird and like washed out? Yeah, oops. That's my fault. Don't want to die. So anyways, but I think for my very first puzzle, what was it, 2.5 hours, 2 and 40 minutes, isn't the worst that ever existed. I don't think it's good, but for my very first puzzle, I know some people say they take weeks doing puzzles, so I know the only puzzle that I ever worked on, which I did not start or finish, I did look at before, was at my cousin's house, where they had pretty much a pure blue puzzle out. They're like, we can't separate pieces, we can't do anything, it's dark blue. And I remember looking at it, and I did ask about it the next time we visited my cousins, and it was gone. And they're like, oh no, we didn't finish it. No, we just put it back. So they didn't even finish the puzzle, and that's the only time I ever like had an official Jigsaw puzzle before me. So I am excited to have a puzzle and to do the puzzle. I just hope my white pieces don't turn into like their dark blue pieces where I just like, I can't finish it. I am too stubborn not to finish something, I think, when it is a challenge. So I'm hoping because it's a challenge, I'm going to finish it. Like actually finish it. I will say before actually getting into it is that it is very satisfying, like, because I like organizing. It does my brain, it does the same thing in my brain as like a really nice organization or getting something tidy, and it just like, it's satisfying, I guess. It's not, I know a lot of people have like an intense feeling to it, but for me it's just like, yeah, nice. I don't know, like baseline, like peace. And so to have it coming together, it's like peace, and then thinking about the white pieces, and then it's like, no, no longer peace. But for as much as I already did, I'm thrilled with my progress. Again, I don't want to be like, I'm thrilled, and people are like, I can get it done in 30 minutes. But I'm again, very first puzzle I have ever started and hopefully will finish. So I also got so tired at the end of it, where I just felt like I hit a wall. So I'm hoping starting anew. I know I'm already really tired, it's really late, but I'm hoping, yeah, I can just have some fun and cruise on having fun for a little while doing this. So it's been like 40 more minutes and I feel like I put like 6 pieces in. So I took a little bit of a break because I can and I needed to do some stuff. But now I'm getting back to it and part of me is wondering if I should try to do the edge. But it is just pure white. So I don't know if that's a smart move or not. I'm also scared if I try to do it, it just is going to be too big for my table. Yeah. But right now it's just a lot of the white pieces with like just a gray line with no words, so I don't know where it goes or what angle it's at. And then I have all the pure white pieces. Yeah, I don't know. The time is going to take longer and longer. Like, yeah, like all the easy parts, I don't know technically how fast I did it, but like it felt good because it was pretty much just like figure out where it goes, you know, and I kind of could feel it out and you kind of could figure out where things are. But with like these gray pieces, you can't just feel it out. And now we're getting into the actual puzzling aspect where you have to like look at the shape of it. And yeah, it's not, my brain doesn't work, I don't have that yet, at least, where I don't have the visualization of each piece. Like, I was purely going off of, oh, this is this text, this is this text, or like, oh, it's this line, so it's either straight or it's diagonal. If it's diagonal, it's over here. If it's straight, it's over there. So to have it now being like, oh, this shape has these many prongs. No, my brain is gone. Like, I don't have that, at least not yet. I also thought that each of these, like each corner would, more classic ribbon cut is like the thing, like as a not puzzler, like my brain is like, oh, puzzles, ribbon cut, each of the corners will like fit together perfectly, but they don't. I think almost none of them do. Or very, you know, not often, where all 4 corners, like the 4 corners actually hit all together. Even when they're close, it's not 100%, like this isn't quite, like it's slightly down. And I think that throws me off a little bit, where I'm like, oh, this piece and this piece, it should be down here, but it's not. Another thing that I didn't quite expect is that this piece is much bigger than this piece. I kind of thought they were all going to be more uniform size, and I don't know why, because again, I've watched quite a lot of videos of Karen puzzles, and yet somehow I still, my brain, when I saw this, I was like, oh, those are quite different sizes. Like, I didn't expect it to be so different. Okay, so it's been like another nearly 40 minutes. Yeah. More. It's been a while, okay? But I did the whole edge. I did all of the gray pieces. Now the only thing left is the all white pieces. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at. And I'm getting the hang of trying to figure out what piece goes where. I had to do a little bit of looking at the shapes. So I definitely will have to do that for these white pieces. And there's just chunks of empty spots. There's just like these fully empty white spots all over. This corner goes here, but it would hang off. This corner goes there, obviously. That M goes there. And this one's actually on because these all are filled in almost completely. All the other edges, like this is only missing one piece. But the rest of it is here. But this, I need to see this to be able to fill this out, because this is so much more information than just literally nothing, you know, right here. Some of the pieces do hold together a little bit, so it's not as bad as I previously thought, so I do want to give it that. I'm going to put all of the pure white pieces onto my table, and I guess just see how long it takes for me to just plug them all in, and then I'm done. So it's really just pure white pieces and just pure going by shape, which I think is pretty good. There was one that could have technically fit somewhere else, but typically you can tell when something fits or not. I was really worried about the edge, but even pretty close, you can kind of tell like wasn't quite it. When it just was just the edge by itself, it did get a little bit like, is this right? Because you know, there's nothing to confirm or deny. But I don't think I messed up there or anything. So now it's just all pure white pieces. So I have no idea how long this part's gonna take. I'm hoping it is quicker than doing the rest of it, but like doing some of the oddball items, because each time I do a part, it just gets longer and longer and longer. It is what it is. I wonder how many all pure white pieces there are. I could probably count it, but I'm not going to. This is my last piece of my very first jigsaw puzzle. This is the piece that had to be wiped down because of my allergies, so if anyone mentions it, just let it go. I can now understand why Karen Puzzles does this. It's very nice. So I just finished my very first jigsaw puzzle, and it took me 5 hours and 37 minutes, give or take. I was pretty good and pretty exact, but sometimes I like set up the cameras and stuff. So it's definitely not 100%, but I did it. So I finished my very first jigsaw puzzle, taking me 5 hours and 37 minutes. Compared to Karen Puzzles, who takes only an hour and 20 minutes to finish a 500 piece puzzle. Like, compared to her, this has been just ridiculously slow. But I honestly didn't know how long this was going to take. I hoped for under 10 hours because I just didn't know how long it would take someone who has never done a jigsaw puzzle to do a jigsaw puzzle. I think if I've done jigsaw puzzles, like, some of the mental math would have gone a lot faster, because there's like some pieces that are like, my brain just saw them one direction and it never turned them. So it took me longer to do some of this like mental math than I think it would have took other people, or even myself if I've done this a lot. I know for a while, I took a break from doing Sudokus, and I love Sudokus, and I would do a ton of them all the time. And then when I took the break, you know, your brain has to like recalibrate to thinking a certain way. Even if you know how to do it, you know, it just, you don't have that instant movement in your brain. And now, time for statistics. In this graph, you can see Karen's Puzzles 2022 national time of 55 minutes. And her as many puzzles in 12 hours as possible with an average of 80 minutes per puzzle. And I added a black and white puzzle she did of a tax form, which she did in 177 minutes. And then there's my time, which was 337 minutes, which is longer than all 3 of the times in this graph for Karen Puzzles. And then I have a breakdown of my 2 days of doing my first ever puzzle. The longest period of time was doing all the miscellaneous pieces. Technically, the shortest period of time is the red line. However, it's a little deceiving given that I did most of the red line while doing the other lines. So it's not really true. I also put the gray line in with miscellaneous because the gray line pieces were mixed in, so it wouldn't have really been fair to try to figure out how long it took me to do with the gray line because there was no way of truly knowing. Me doing the edges was essentially the same time as all of her nationals, which is just ludicrous and quite frankly humbling. I don't know if puzzles are going to be like my next big thing. I did absolutely enjoy it. Again, with my allergies though, it just isn't the most convenient, but I want to push myself to try to do things despite that. And this is definitely something that I have been wanting to do for so long, but I couldn't do in the place that I previously lived because of the allergies. So I'm very glad I can finally do this. It is, in my opinion, like low effort. I think if it was a picture, it would have been, or like not having just chunks of white, I think would have been a lot more relaxing and enjoyable where you just, oh, this goes here, this goes here. But doing the railways and stuff, I think that was very nice. I like that. So I wonder if I should try it again with a different puzzle. I really do like stealing from other YouTubers, like what they're proficient at, because I don't think I would have done a video on my own being like, I should surf. I should solve my very first Jigsaw puzzle and record it. I wouldn't have really thought about it. I was just going to do it until I started doing this, and then I put it off until now so I can record it. So I really like that because it really pushes what I'm going to do. It's funny to be like, oh, doing a jigsaw puzzle is pushing me out of my limit. It's like, yeah, it is. I never done this before. So it really is pushing me outside of like where I normally am. It's teaching me by doing. Like I look at a video and I see how they cut up it and how their pacing is. And I think that's really interesting because it kind of makes me learn how other people do YouTube videos. And Karen Puzzle, she is incredibly well designed. That's why her puzzle videos are so beautiful, which I'm not that. I don't have this kind of designer look in mind. So like she's so good at making videos that are so, you know, pleasant, and I want to follow suit in trying to copy that in this. So that's why I had to, you know, I'm like, oh, she does, you know, close up of putting in pieces. She does the fast time lapse, and she does the statistics. I have to kind of copy all those, and I think it's really fun. Another thing that Karen Puzzles does is she gives a code word at an end of a video to signal that you stayed until the end. So let's make the code word blue, because there's the blue line and there's the blue butterfly. Let's make the code word blue. This isn't my thing. I don't think, out of the things I'd probably keeping an eye on beauty is definitely going to try to be in there. Code word, I'm not really, I don't know. Anyways, code word blue. you can't see the puzzle. Code word blue. I just can't believe I never did a puzzle before.